Ladies and gentlemen, the following is another terrific episode of the Wrestling Fans Podcast, Ringside Society. I'm your host, that ocean crossing, straight up bossing, flight catching, shot glass snatching, travels for the passion, never to be stunting, fresh off a trip from the city of London, no cap, straight fast, the worldwide starboy, Remy Blue. But it's not about me. You see, we have a special guest tonight. He hails from the four. That's right. It's the WWA4 down there in Atlanta. Shout out to all the great people in Atlanta. I swear every time I go there, I get heavier because y'all still try to feed me all that good food, and you know I can't resist. But everybody, welcome to the show. One of the most advantageous wrestlers in professional wrestling, Zamir Zuriel. Ça passe, brother. How you doing tonight?
Ça passe, Nabule. Jean-Yves, how are you?
Great, man. Great. You know, one time I had a funny joke. So when I first moved to Fort Lauderdale, Florida, I remember one time I'd hear them say "sac passe" and then they say "nabule." And I had some friends that would say it to me like "sac passe," and I thought it was "not today." So they're saying "sac passe." I'm like, "Not today." And then one of them was like, "What you mean not today, man?" I'm like, "Isn't that what you say?" He's like, "No, man, it's nabule, man." Oh, my bad. Yeah. I didn't mean no disrespect.
They'll press you, shoot. Oh, that's hilarious though. Not today. I've never in my life heard that. That's hilarious.
Yeah, I thought it was like "not today," and they were like, "Yeah, it's not that, man."
With the accent and everything is hilarious.
Yeah. So how's everything going on in your neck of the woods, man?
It's going fantastic. It's going real great now. I've had a great start of my year. I'm excited for this year holds for me. I have a lot of new things that I have in store for myself this year. So I'm pretty excited. How are you doing?
Great. Beg pardon?
It's like congratulations on this podcast.
Thanks, man. Thanks. Yeah, we've been around. Actually, it's gonna be 5 years in March that we've been around as a podcast. But yeah, man, thank you for actually taking time out of your schedule to be here to be here on our show. Really and truly do appreciate it. You know, we saw you were watching all of our interviews, so we're like, and then we're like, wait a minute, he's a pro wrestler too. Yeah, well, let's have him on, man. If he's gonna check us out that much, we might as well have him on to find out what his story is. So pretty much there it is, man. But I gotta say, you guys are the four, man. Y'all are definitely, looking hella impressive right now. It seems like, every time I look at y'all's pages, there's somebody new that we got to check out, talk to, and whatnot. And y'all are just killing it down there, man.
Thank you so much. 1,000%, man. Fox pumps out monsters, machines. He makes us go from the top all the way down. Our roster is stacked, and we have the craziest shows, and I can't even deny it. We are a promotion.
I don't doubt you. I mean, with AR Fox, being the head trainer there, and AR Fox is a guy who I've been familiar with for the past, 10 years. I've known of him for the last, 10 years. I met him one time in Pro Wrestling Syndicate in New Jersey. Really cool guy. I've seen him wrestle in CZW. The man can go. I'm actually glad he's finally getting this opportunity with AEW because, the man's definitely worked hard. And he definitely deserves it. But yeah, man, I mean, greatness produces greatness, man.
1,000%. One deserves every single piece of it. He deserves all the recognition and everything that he's getting coming to it. That has happened. What an amazing man, wrestler, and better yet, trainer. There's no denying AR Fox because look at what he's produced. Many talented wrestlers alone within himself, but we're everywhere. The four is everywhere.
Oh yeah, it definitely is. I believe somebody told me Austin Theory came from your show too as well. He came from y'all's promotion, so that just goes to show, man. Y'all are definitely churning out superstars, man.
Absolutely, Austin Theory and Daphne LaShawn, aka Aja Smith. She's the first person.
Right.
Yeah.
I forgot about. Hey, I gotta ask you. So does her? A lot of people don't know this, but she has a sister, Ravana Sin. That does she still wrestle there
Very,
or no?
I no, she does not. No.
Okay, because I knew she had a sister, a bigger sister, and I mean an older sister, and I was like, wow. I mean, she was another great talent too, but I didn't see anything from her in a while. So I was like, I wonder what's going on. If she's still around. I mean, because I know she was pretty good too.
Oh, I have no idea, but she is very talented. Yes.
Yeah, Aja Pereira. Well, Daphne Lachey, she's known now. I know when she was Aja Pereira, when she was, on the grind on the Indies. I
Mhm.
remember I actually had a shirt of hers. I think it was a alien eating a pizza, and I actually took a picture with it when I was in Japan. And I was like, yeah, it was one of the coolest shirts I ever bought, man. I'm glad. I'm really happy for her, and now she's a character in 2K24. Like that's just crazy, man.
Imagination. History maker. History maker. Straight from the four. Both of them. Austin Theory opened up WrestleMania against John Cena.
Yeah,
He came from the four. That's only a testament to like Fox's incredible caliber for all of us.
yeah, definitely. So I gotta ask you, man. I always ask 99% of our guests, man, because I like to have the like the viewers and listeners, hear everybody started. But how did it all start? How did your love for professional wrestling start?
My mom,
Okay,
yeah, 1000%. My mother, she was a huge fan of. She was a wrestling fan. Period. Because she had been watching it. Her like my great grandfather, her grandfather taught her about wrestling. And like we used to take her back to back then it was the territory days,
yeah,
and in every week or as often as they could, they would my great grandfather would take my mom to these wrestling shows. So she's always loved it. She's obsessed and in love with The Rock, of
okay,
course, and she got me into it when I was 6 years old.
okay.
I
Wow, that's
didn't. Yeah, it's great.
that's awesome. That you are. Yeah, yeah, like the world's like one of the world's coolest moms, man. That watches wrestling and then got you into it. That's crazy, man.
I do. Bonjour, mama. I love her so much.
So so how were some of your like who were some of your favorites that you enjoyed growing up?
Off rip, The Miz.
Okay.
The Miz is my favorite wrestler. I can definitely say that hands down. He's the one that taught. Like I remember watching him at like the first ever sight of him was on Raw. He was calling a promo, captivated me instantly. I was like, "Who is this man?" I watched him ever since. Hated his guts, but I watched him ever since as the excellent heel that he is as a child, and huge inspiration for me now. Another person for me would definitely have to be AJ Lee. She's my favorite women's wrestler of all time. Iconic in my eyes. She's helped me so much. So
Yeah, AJ Lee is she's done so much for women's wrestling. I know people say, "Oh, the four horsewomen," and I always say this. Yeah, the four horsewomen were great, but to me, the two people that headed the women's revolution, and I'm talking like active, like they didn't just say it, like they went out there and they did it. It was AJ Lee and Saraya Knight. Those two women were the ones that came through and were like, hey, yes, we know we look good and this and that. And yeah, no doubt they're two great looking women. They could have easily, gone and done and done many modeling shoots like the divas like the divas and divas era, but they were like, no, we're not about that. We can actually wrestle. And they showed everybody, well, hey, this is what it is, what's up, and what it's gonna be.
and it's amazing. We needed them. We needed women like that. We needed women like that to pave that way. Because no disrespect to any of the divas of that time period, or any women's wrestlers of that time period, because that's just what that time period was. However, we never saw anything like an AJ Lee or a Saraya.
And the
So
crazy thing is, I remember this was back in 2009. I had actually, this was when MySpace was around, but it was kind of dwindling down. And I remember I was like, I got so fed up with my first MySpace page because I had several people that I added on there a lot of people that I added that I did not know. So I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna start over my MySpace page. And I'm just gonna add people that I know. Anybody that I don't know, it better be like a popular wrestler or somebody. And then lo and behold, I remember I saw AJ Lee. I was like, and this was when she was just starting out. She was known as Miss April, and she had a picture with her and her trainer Jay Lethal and whatnot. And I think and I was like, yeah, she looks cool, but I'm not gonna add her right now because, like I said, I'm only gonna add indie wrestlers that have actually been on TV. Or no, I was like, no, I'm only gonna add wrestlers that are popular. And there were some wrestlers that had like that were on WB that signed to them that had MySpace pages. So I was like, I'll just give AJ. I'll just hold off on adding her. And then lo and behold, later on that year, she gets signed. I'm like, okay. Or I think it was either later on that year, earlier that year, she got signed. I was like, okay, change of plans. I'm gonna start adding indie wrestlers then, because if this is
Yeah,
what's gonna happen, yeah. And I think I eventually added her. But there was something about her that told me, something. This woman's gonna be the one. This woman's gonna be the one that's gonna change the game. I don't know if they're ready for her, but it doesn't matter because the change is going to come. And then lo and behold, she gets signed in 2009, and 5 years later, boom.
changed the game. In the span of 5 years too.
Yeah, yeah. So what would be your reaction? So apparently there's, yeah, and like I said, I don't believe rumors because that's just what they are, the rumors. But I've heard some rumblings about people saying, yeah, CM Punk is back in WWE. Maybe
I
we'll
need
see
it. I
AJ
know
Lee.
exactly what you're about to say. I need it to happen, please. I would love it if you came back.
What would be your reaction if you saw that happen?
Probably cry a little bit. Oh my god, no. Cause man, the way that she's helped me so much, like with my mental health especially, her book has helped me tremendously. I hope to meet her one day and probably work with her one day. But her book has helped me tremendously. Her life story, man, just her. Like if I see her, that's like a full circle moment of everything. Huge inspiration. I'm gonna smile with the biggest smile, bro. I'm gonna jump up and down, everything. I'm gonna do the whole 9 yards. Oh, what happens?
Yeah, that would definitely be something if you hear slide it up, and then she comes like skipping to the ring. That would be something like crazy, man. Like it would definitely. I could only imagine the reaction, the screams and everything that she would get, the cheers and
That
everything when
pop
she makes that
is going to
appearance.
that pop is gonna be wild. So I'm really praying it happens.
Yeah. Have you ever gotten to meet her before, or just you've only just seen her like in like on TV or at wrestling shows that you've gone to?
I've only only on TV. Never met her. Never talked to her. I would love to, of course. I would love to one day, but I've never met her. We never anything. I would love to meet her one day just to tell her thank you because her
Oh,
story helped me.
okay. Now speaking of inspirations, man, I gotta ask. You're Haitian. Your
Yes.
heritage is Haitian or whatnot. You know, we had not we Ringside Society, but WB had a man by the name of Shad Gaspard. I know you know who that is. One half of
Yes.
Crime Time. Shad Gaspard was also half Haitian. So what goes through your mind when you see like this guy who is, who represents your culture, on TV? He was on TV doing this thing as one half of Crime Time, kicking butt, taking names. You know, like what went through your mind when you saw him doing all that?
Well, as a kid, I wasn't. It was around me, but I wasn't really aware of the fact that I was Haitian and that was different. So I didn't really recognize my own nationality. I didn't even know that he was Haitian until unfortunately he passed away a few years
Okay,
ago. And I think that he was he's not the first, but he's one of the first. There's not many. There's not many Haitians period in wrestling. So for Shad Gaspard to go on TV, do what he did, and paved that way because he indirectly did he did indirectly open that door for us because we've never had a Haitian on WWE TV. He was amazing. That charisma, his just his abilities all around. And I actually have a little personal story, not with him in person, but 3 weeks because he had in 2020 is when he passed away, I believe.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
yeah, yeah, it was 2020. And I started wrestling in 2020. I started wrestling at like the summer of 2020. And 3 weeks into my wrestling career, there was this list that was put out, and it was like the top 500 wrestlers of, sorry, the top 500 black wrestlers in the world, and I was number 499, which was crazy because I was 3 weeks into my career. But
Okay.
number 500, respectfully, was Shad Gaspard.
Wow.
So to have that literally be right there, I felt that internally. I was like, wow, that's actually a pretty nice thing. That, that's a beautiful thing to be like he's Haitian and he paved that way and he lived the dream that I'm trying to pursue, that I am pursuing.
Yeah. I believe actually if my memory serves me correctly, you're actually the third Haitian wrestler or wrestler of Haitian descent that we have actually had on our show. We have had a guy by the name of Reggie Rhythm who wrestles one state below you. He's in Florida. Shout out to Reggie Rhythm. And we've also had, I believe his name is Eugene or Juja.
Eugene,
Juja. Yeah, he was actually on Ring of Honor's top prospect tournament. But yeah, he was on our show. He was on our show too as well. I think 2 or 3 years ago. Really cool guys.
wow, that's amazing. That's fantastic. Actually, we need more wrestlers from where we come from.
Yeah, I feel you on it because I'm Guyanese myself, and when I say Guyanese wrestler, I'm like, wow, wow, that person where I'm at. You don't think it'll happen, but then it happens. Like I remember Ezekiel Jackson, aka Rickalon Stevens. I don't know if you remember that guy.
Of course.
He but he I remember I saw his this is when he was in FCW, and I saw his profile picture. I'm like, this guy looks like a Bad News Brown, who's an older wrestler. He used to wrestle like in the 80s and early 90s. And I was like, this guy looks
Yeah.
like a buffed up version of Bad News Brown. So when I looked at his picture, I was like, wait a minute. I found out he was from Guyana. I'm like, you gotta be kidding me. And I messaged him right away. I'm like, you're from Guyana? What part? He's like, Linden. I'm like, yo, I'm from Georgetown. And then we end up meeting up like several years later at a WrestleMania. It was a WrestleMania week get together. Lillian Garcia had her little launch party for one of her songs or albums, and he was there attending. And I got to take a picture with him. But that I was like, wow. And then also crazy is that Kenny King from Impact. He
Yeah.
was he's also half Guyanese. And I'm like, and
I did
I eventually, and the funny thing is, I met him that same WrestleMania week. I met Ezekiel Jackson. I didn't know, and then years later, I was matter of fact last year. I saw him again at a Wale Mania in Los Angeles. I'm like, hey yo, Kenny. I'm like in my accent. I'm like, hey Kenny, man. Oh, you tell me you use Guyanese, but you should have told me that thing long time, man. He's like, yeah, man. Yeah, I'm half Guyanese, and gave me a dap and whatnot, and yeah, and you got Willow Nightingale. Willow Nightingale's half Guyanese too. So
really, I love Willow
yeah,
Nightingale. She's the sweetest thing on earth, man. I met her in person one time. Would never forget it. She was so sweet. I did not know
yeah.
that.
If I see Willow, I'd probably like, hey Willow, I think you family know me, family, you know. 'Cause in Guyana, like crazily enough, if you mention a last name, they'd be like, yeah, my family probably knows your family. What's your family last name? Oh, Williams? You related to such and such? Yeah.
Yeah,
I've met several people like that, and I'm like, wow, small world.
that's amazing. See,
Yeah,
representation matters.
yeah, it definitely does.
It's needed and it matters.
Oh yeah. So I gotta ask you, man, how did your journey go from pro wrestling fan to pro wrestler? How'd you end up like training at the four and all that?
Ah, okay. Um, Definitely. I was so I was in high school, and I was living down here in Georgia because I moved from Virginia to Georgia for high school,
Right.
and I was living with my big brother, my big brothers, and my oldest brother. He's a huge fan of wrestling. He showed me more of wrestling as I was growing up, and he wanted to be a wrestler. So I never really personally had any aspirations to be a wrestler and get inside of the ring. I always was just a fan of it growing up. And I remember my freshman year, WWE 2K14 came out, and the trailer for it dropped, and the song that they had going with it was Fall Out Boy, The Phoenix, and I was like, I want to be in a video game. That sparked everything. Just that one statement. It was like, if I want to be in a video game, I'm gonna have to become a wrestler. Let's see how this goes. And I started thinking about it, but at the time, of course, I was too young. I jumped until the age of 19. Story kind of takes a little bit of a dip and its intern in it, but my oldest brother unfortunately got into drugs and was in jail a few times, and he never he's here with us, but he was never able to chase that goal because over time it just kind of didn't happen. I thought that when I first started wrestling, like I said to myself, if I can start wrestling, not only would this be good for me, but maybe this will help him see that he could wrestle and he would want to actually be in it too. And
Yeah.
it didn't happen. So when I first started wrestling, I was in a different place in my life. I was in college at the time, and then I solidified the fact that maybe I actually do want to be in a video game. Because if I am wrestling, I can do something for myself. I've always loved it. And then those wheels started turning, and then I looked it up. I was like, where can I go? Boom. The WWA 4 was right there again. And ironically enough, I had had it in my sights for a few years. I'd seen it on YouTube, just kind of like looking around, like scrounging around with the idea of maybe joining it, but always dropped it. And then one day I joined. I got to the WWA 4, and it was this is my first ever meeting of Fox. It was downpouring outside, and and it was before training. And Fox and so the WW4 is in Atlanta, and we're in these like units. The unit next to us was a U-Haul guy, and Fox and him are just going back and forth with each other, and it's downpouring because one of the kids parked in the other guy's slot to get into his truck, and they were just kind of going back and forth. They both went inside. I'm sitting in my car just watching everything happen. I was like, oh, I'm terrified. I don't know if I'm gonna be mentally ready to walk in after all that. I ended up like I walk in after a few minutes, and as soon as I walk in, the first thing that Fox said was, "So man, you train?" And I will say this right now, Fox is the most chill guy ever. I could not I didn't expect that from after watching that whole transaction happen. It's hilarious. So that's my introduction into actually getting into it or starting.
Wow. Wow, that's awesome, man. That's really cool that that actually happened and everything. Honestly, I hope your brother is able to get back on track. I'm sorry. First off, I'm sorry to hear about what your brother's going through. I hope he's able to get back on track. Um,
He is
you know,
actually great recent update. He's doing a lot better.
that's awesome.
So I'm
You
really
know,
proud of him.
I always tell people, it's not if you stay down, it's if you get back up that makes you a winner. I'm glad your brother's doing that. And I mean, look at this. I'm not gonna put this person's business out there. But there was one wrestler that I know that he got in trouble, ended up getting locked up, but eventually he came back out. His brother got him back on the right path in wrestling. His brother's also was a wrestler. Brother's still with us, by the way. And that young man that got locked up, back in the day,
Yeah.
he ended up becoming somebody great. And we all know who this person is.
Amen. Also, to jump back to that question, he's one of my idols. I would say he's number 3 for me.
Oh, Booker
He's
T?
absolutely, absolutely. I know his entire life story. I didn't catch it at first. I was like, "Who is he talking about?" And then you did this. Like, oh yeah, of course. That whole story is right there.
Yeah.
He's one of my favorites. My finisher is his.
Yeah. So, you've seen, so you know that, what he went through when he was younger. Went through some hard times, but guess what? He was able to pick himself back. He had a supportive brother. And now he's matter of fact, he runs pretty much one of the best promotions in Texas, wrestling promotions in Texas, reality wrestling.
1,000%.
So, yeah, man. So it just goes to show you, man, like it's not where you start, it's where you end. And I hope your brother gets back. He considers wrestling again, and who knows? Maybe we'll see you guys tag teaming. Maybe we'll see Haitian Heat. And you guys,
Maybe.
and maybe we'll see you guys come be like suck. I can see you guys now coming out going, "Hey, suck passe, suckers," and you guys whooping ass all over, man. You never know. I'm not making fun of your culture. I'm just saying, let me tell you something. You see, if my brother and if I got brothers too, if one of my brothers like, yo, Remy, let's go wrestle. Guess what? We gonna be out there representing Ghana. We like, hey, in our Guyanese accent, go, hey, what going on, man? Hey, you gonna get someone like, yeah, we gonna be like that, man. Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Love the culture, man. Love the culture, definitely.
Thank you, and thank you for representing your culture. What you're doing right now is very important, and thank you for the kind words that you said for my brother. That's very sweet.
Yeah, no problem. Yeah, no problem, man. No problem, man. So I got it. You doing your thing, man. I saw your match with your former tag team partner Blackjack Mac. You guys were part of team Deep Sleep. You guys had battles with the North Side Heroes. Them boys from the North that stay going off. Shout out to them too, as we had them on our show as well. But y'all had some battles with them, man. So if you had to say that, what would you say your dynamic is? What kind of dynamic would you say you and Blackjack Mac had as a tag team? Like, if you guys could like compare yourself to another tag team, who would you say that tag team would be that y'all kind of come closest to? I'm not trying to compare, but like, like for example, if me and Robert have a match, my co-host Scoot couldn't be here today, I'd be like, yo, we were like John Cena and Randy Orton, man, like Miz and John Morrison in that ring, bro. Who, or if we tag, we'd be like, yo, we were like Bubba Ray and Devon, man. You know what I'm saying? We were just in there, putting people through stuff. Like, who would you say y'all were like, kind of like, what tag team y'all had the same dynamic as?
Ooh, honestly, I never really thought about it when we did tag. I would have to say Miz and Morrison.
Okay.
Miz and Morrison definitely, because Blackjack. Blackjack with the shades, bro. No one has a better shade game than Blackjack. He got that, and his kid. Like, for me, like, I'm pretty. Like, I would consider myself to be pretty good on the mic, and me and him can both carry in the ring. He's talented as hell. We wrestled each other many times. He's one of my favorite opponents and one of my favorite, if not my favorite, tag team partner that I've tagged with. Miz and Morrison, iconic tag team.
Right. And you guys have another thing in common. You guys are all about chance because you're the most advantageous wrestler, and he's the one that encourages you to that encourages you to play the hand. He always plays the hand. So I say you guys always, you take the chance, and he leaves it up to chance. So it's a matter of chance on both your ends too, as a tag team.
1,000%, and it's
so. Now fighting against each other, what dynamic would you say? Who would you say y'all are like would y'all say y'all are like Ric Flair and Ricky Steamboats, Hulk Hogan and Macho Man, I guess you could say New Day and the Usos. Like, who would y'all say like what kind of dynamic would y'all say y'all have as opponents?
Ooh. I re- there's so many to pull from. If I was to say any dynamic, I would have to say honestly, I can't even think of a solid like duo. If anything, we're kind of our own heat.
Okay.
If, yeah, I can't really compare because there really is no comparison to us. I haven't really seen. I mean, like heel and face, of course, but mm, he reminds me of a lot of like Razor Ramon,
Okay.
like
Cool.
Razor Ramon, maybe Razor Ramon and Shawn Michaels. Yeah, yeah, there we go. That would be pretty cool. Yeah,
Yeah.
I can see
Yeah.
that.
Razor Ramon and Shawn Michaels, man, those battles were something, man. That one ladder match they had at
Iconic.
WrestleMania 11, or was it WrestleMania? No, it was WrestleMania 10, and then they ran it back a year and a half later at WrestleMania at a SummerSlam '95. Yeah, those are some great matches, man.
Killed it. Those matches were amazing. They laid the groundwork for matches today.
Oh yeah, definitely, definitely. So in regards to wrestling, I know you wrestled primarily in Atlanta, Georgia. But have you ever gotten to wrestle like anywhere else, like outside of Atlanta, like
Yeah,
outside of like Georgia?
yeah, absolutely. I had to actually a year and a half into my career, I flew out to Los Angeles. And that was my first plane ride ever too.
What?
Yep. A year and a half into my career, that was my first ever plane ride, and it's across the country. And it was to wrestle for old fashioned wrestling, but moreover
Okay.
PCW Ultra.
What?
Yeah, it was great. I still have the shirt.
Wow,
Yeah, yeah, I still have the shirt. It was a pretty cool. It was a pretty cool
that,
experience. There's many
brother,
more.
that is big time. I'm like, if you get there's certain independent wrestling promotions. If you get a chance to wrestle for them, that's like big time, man. PCW Ultra.
Mm-hmm.
I've heard about them a lot, man.
There, it was fun to work for them, even though it was like a one-off experience. It was definitely fun. Obviously memorable. Just walking in, seeing everything, being with all the wrestlers, being in that moment, especially being so new. And the, I've been a lot of places. Alabama's one of them. Alabama's one of them. North Carolina, Florida, definitely. I love WWN. That's the
Proving ground.
that's the main promotion that I've wrestled for. I've done that twice.
Oh, that's
So
cool.
yeah, I've wrestled quite a bit. I start wrestling everywhere.
That's
Everywhere. I
great.
want to go like out of the country and wrestle. I want to wrestle who are considered to be my colleagues. Uh, I want to see what everybody got. I want to see if I can go toe to toe with everybody. And I know I can.
Well, I'll tell you one thing. I just like I said, I just came back from London. If you get a chance to wrestle there, that's great. You're gonna love it over there. It's really chill. Um, if you get a chance to go to Japan, I'm gonna tell you right now, take that with a smile and go and embrace the experience. Your boy Teriyaki probably told you it's a vibe out there. You
We're
know, your boy
so
Teriyaki. And one thing you got to make sure you got to do when you go to Japan, you absolutely have to make sure you get your Ribera jacket. Teriyaki will tell you about it. It's a jacket that it's I guess it's an unofficial rite of passage, or it might be an official rite of passage where any wrestler that goes on a Japan tour, they go to Ribera Steakhouse. It's apparently it's a great. I've never been there. Next time I go to Japan, I'll definitely make that a mission. But Ribera Steakhouse is a steakhouse in Japan where a lot of famous wrestlers have gone to, and when they go there, the owner gives them a jacket. Um, Hulk Hogan has gotten his. John Cena has gotten one. William Regal has gotten one, and Teriyaki just got his. So when you
yes.
go over there, you gotta make sure you get your jacket too, man.
Thank you. I would love to. I need this. Thank you for letting me know ahead of time. So whenever I do make that mission over there, I have to grab one. And I got something for I got a
Yeah,
few
man.
ideas. What to do. Thank you for letting me know about that. Now,
Yeah, the jackets look really good too. They have like a, I guess it's like kind of like the Texas Longhorns, but it's not the Texas Longhorns. But yeah, man, if you get a chance to go to Japan, which not if when you get a chance, I'm speaking into existence. When you get a chance, you
thank
know,
you.
definitely gotta make sure you get your jacket, man. You know, yeah,
Thank you. I feel like this happened for a reason. I got the information for a reason. So when it does happen,
yeah. Gotta let people know, man. Yeah, go get your jacket, man. That way, when you go back, you be like, yeah, I went to Japan, and it was a school of hard knocks, but I learned about that strong style, and I came back in style with my Ribera jacket, So you flexing on the rest of them that haven't gotten it yet, So yeah, man. So
thank you.
you spoke about wrestling for several companies like PCW and so on, but I saw you were also near an Impact Wrestling ring. So tell us about that now. How'd that come about?
That was actually like backstage work, more or less.
Okay,
And it was just trying, like, it was being there, helping out backstage, helping out with kind of this the whole back behind gorilla area throughout the entire day we were there. It wasn't just me, it was all of us. It was all of us from the floor. We were all helping that night. We were all invited to go help and be a part of this. Not be a part of it. Actually, yeah, a few of our boys were a part of it on that specific show, and it was
okay,
awesome.
wow, that's awesome, man. Hopefully we get to see you on Impact on TNA Impact one of these days. You
That's
know,
actually one of my goals. I've been saying that out loud a lot
it's
recently.
gonna happen. And and when it happens, what we gonna do? Like, yo, he made it, man. We just had him on the show. My
Yeah.
boy, he doing big thing. Hey, brother, let me tell you something. We've had people on this show. I could drop names that have gone on to sign for WWE. Roxanne Perez was on our show at one point. Amari Miller. Both of those women are
Yeah.
signed to WWE. Danny Limelight got signed to MLW. We've had AQA. I don't know if you remember her. AQA. She was in reality wrestling. She got signed to WWE and
Yeah.
then AEW. Most recently, Maddie Rankowski got signed to WWE. I'm just
Yeah.
saying, we don't have no criteria on who we
Let's do it.
interview. If we see you in
That's
that ring putting on a show for us, we want to talk to you.
thank you.
So, because you never know who's going to be who in the future.
That's true.
You never know. Ref
TNA.
IHOP over there. He's been watching us. I'm like, we go. We gonna have you on here soon too, because you never know. Ref IHOP might end up becoming somebody big too.
I
He
hope
might get
so.
signed to TNA or WWE or New Japan. You never know.
He could if he keeps going and keeps believing in himself. I hope we love you, bro. You're doing great.
Yeah,
Thank you. Absolutely. I would to wrestle for TNA would be like, even if it's like a one match, like one off thing. That's always been a goal of mine. My dreams I have a lot of dreams, and TNA is one of them. TNA is definitely one of them. I need to knock that off.
as long as long as you keep at it, work at it, you'll get there, man. As long as you keep at it, keep on working, you're gonna get there, man. Definitely,
Thank you.
definitely. So I just got a few more questions before we shut it down, man. So, whenever you come out to face your opponents, you know, you have a song that gets the crowd pumped. I even felt a bit pumped. It was called Tafete by Stromae.
Tape,
Yeah, is it Tafe?
tape.
Tafet.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you
Thank
got the
you.
crowd pumping up, man. Like, what made you choose that song, man? I'm like, I don't even understand what the man probably cussing somebody out. I don't know if he tells somebody about their mama or he talking about a girl or something. But I hear that music, I'm like, yo, this is a vibe, man. Yeah, it's like French soca, man. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, yo, this is cool, man.
Thank you. I love my theme song so much. Stromae is the man who made my theme song. It's his song, of course, but he's the man that inspired me. He inspired many parts of my career and my dreams. The reason why I picked this song is because it immediately caught me. You hear those horns at the very, very beginning of the song, and when it gets to like the chorus and then the beat drop, I had one of the best theme songs ever. I heard it one full sitting. Okay, this is gonna be it. I picked that song before I picked that song about 6 months after I debuted into wrestling, 6, 7 months after I debuted into wrestling. I love that song. And actually, you got it a tiny bit right. In that song, okay, French people love to sing like these crazy, beautiful, or like really, really, really good songs, but they would have these very sad meanings behind them, or very like much darker meanings behind them. Strowman is actually talking about like basically basically like getting on to somebody because like he's partying too much, he's doing too many like bad things, like it in the course where he said you meant to fit, like I can't say it exactly because I don't speak French, I speak more Creole,
Right.
but he's saying like your mom's gonna get on to you if you keep up partying behavior, like like that type of thing. But he made it sound in like the complete polar opposite thing. So thank you. I love it. I love it.
Yeah. He said, "Yeah, mom's gonna get on to you." Yeah, I know. If it's a West Indian mom, yeah, you might not want that West Indian mom, getting on you for too much partying, man. That shoots.
I would love to. I avoided it my entire life. I'm good.
Shoots. Trust me, don't get me started with Guyanese moms. Like, oh, is every time you got to go out and party? I got something for you when you come home. All right, I'm not gonna go anywhere then. I'm
Yeah,
just gonna stay home. That's it.
I'm not gonna do nothing. That sounds like my grand. That sounds like my grandmother. She, oh, where you going? Where you going, my shoe?
Yeah. So my last two questions, man. So second to last question, man. You face Blackjack Mac. I've seen you do anything against superstar Jay Lucas. Who are the top 5 people that you want to wrestle in the very near future? You could call it any name. They could be from WWE, TNA, the Indies. Wrestling's unpredictable. You never know when you might get that call to face that one person that you've been wanting to wrestle. Who are on Zamir Zuriel's top 5?
Top five. One, dream match. The Miz.
Okay.
Would love to mix it up in there with him. He's I That would be like the biggest full circle moment for me. So number one is the Miz. Number two, off the top of my head, his name is Robert Martyr, and he is one of the best wrestlers out today.
Doesn't he go by Death to Martyr?
Yep,
I've seen that guy's name before.
I actually just saw him last weekend at a show.
Cool.
Yeah, he wrestled Suzuki. You
Is he
didn't
still
know?
in One Piece?
Yes, he is.
Okay, okay.
He's here. Yeah, this man wrestles Suzuki. This man is insane. Like I've known Martyr for about the amount of time that I've been wrestling. But Robert Martyr is one of them because he's a great technician in that ring, and he wants to learn. He's hungry for this. I want to learn from him in that ring, so I have to mix it up with him one day. Number three, another great technician, Damian Tangra.
Okay.
He comes from the WWA for too, but he's from Bulgaria,
Oh,
and
okay.
he's a legit black belt. He's like he had all these accolades already under his belt before even wrestling, and then he got into wrestling, and then I think he's one of the first Bulgarian wrestlers as well, especially in Georgia, especially in America per sense. And we wrestled before. I've trained. He's one of the best trainers. Period. Period. He's fantastic in that ring. Number four would be Alex Kane.
Okay. Boomaye.
He Yeah, Boomerang. Yeah, yes, sir. I love Alex Kane. Actually, he's been a very pivotal part of my career because he also comes from the fourth, and he, he quick little side note: when I first started wrestling, I was not good. I was not where I am right now. It took me a month and a half to learn how to bump correctly, and
Okay.
that's not heard of. Usually, it takes people like the first day, first times, or a few days. It took me a month and a half. Alex Kane was like one. He was the person that I took my first perfect bump with. He gave me my first German suplex my second day of training, and that was before he became, Boomai Alex Kane, MLW World Champion. He's helped me along my way, so he's number 4. Number 5. Oh, if I really want to, it's like, if I really want to ballpark it. I kind of want to leave that one open. I want to leave that one open because there's a lot of wrestlers that I can come up with, but I just want to see where that takes me. Somebody in TNA.
Okay.
Somebody in TNA. It would have to be Nick Nemeth. Book it, please.
Woo! Okay, man. Man, going big time, man. Nick Nemeth,
Yeah,
man.
yeah, I'm already calling out. Yeah, I'm already saying names. I might as well just say, you know, I'll, book
You
me.
never know. It could
Yeah,
happen.
it
Best believe we see you going to that
could.
TNA ring, though. We'd be like, yo, he did it, man. That's all we do. We do.
Shoot,
Big ups.
big ups. He's so talented.
Yeah.
Oh, how could I forget this one? Honorable sixth mention. Ali, Mustafa Ali. He's currently on the Indies right now. He
Oh,
got
yeah.
released and he's no longer with the WWE anymore. He's one of the people that I've always wanted to wrestle. So he's 1,000% on my docket list.
Mustafa Ali, yeah, I heard he's doing really. He had that one match against the recent match against Nick Nemeth.
Hmm?
Was that was him, right? Yeah.
Actually, I don't know.
Oh, no. That was Zachary. No, that was Trey Miguel that fought Nick Nemeth. My bad. Yeah, but yeah. Mustafa Ali's definitely been pushing since he got released. Which I don't
Yeah,
blame him, man. You know.
he's on a world tour right now. Absolutely. Make a stop in Georgia, please. Make a stop. Actually, never mind. I'll go to you. I'll fly to you. Just let this happen.
Yeah. So my last question, man. You know, you said you want to wrestle everybody. Um, you want to wrestle everybody. You want to wrestle. You pretty much want to wrestle like different places out of the country. I know you're gonna make it eventually. There's no doubt.
Thank
But
you.
let's say on your world tour, you just got done with Germany. You just got done with England.
Yeah.
You're heading over to Japan. But on your way, you happen to come across a young fellow getting into the game, same Haitian background. He's like, Zamir, you've been a great inspiration to me, man. I want to do it like you. You make me proud to be a Haitian. I'm straight. I was born and raised in Port-au-Prince, and I want to do it like you. I want to be. I want to rep what you're doing. I want to do what you do, repping our culture in the squared circle. What advice would you give that young man or young woman that wants to follow in your footsteps of being one of the few Haitian wrestlers to kick ass, take names, and to make people remember the name after they see you do what you do in the ring?
Wow. Thank you. One, I cannot wait to see who this is going to be. Whoever you are, whoever you will be in the future after my career is said and done, whoever you are, just know one, you have to with pain. This is a very tough sport. When they say don't try this at home, if you want to become a wrestler, make sure that you're not only physically tough. Overall, what I would tell you is take care of your mental health. Your mental health is very important. I've had my own personal struggles with mental health. Make sure that you have your mental health straight. Make sure that you're getting the help that you need. Make sure that you're eating. Make sure that if you want to get into this ring, that you have your why, that you have your reasoning as to why you want to be inside of a whatever ring, whatever dreams you have for yourself. And also, don't be afraid to be yourself. Shoot, I didn't get this far. I'm not advantageous for no reason. I didn't get this far, or I'm not going to get as far as I will get with just being somebody else that I'm not. You don't try to imitate anybody else because that's gonna fail. You can't imitate something that you can imitate it, but you're not gonna do it right. The only way to do your career right and for you to get to the place that you want to be is to make sure that you are doing everything that you can do for yourself. That means learning yourself, loving yourself, making sure that you have a passion for this business because it's not just wrestling, it's a business. So make sure you learn the ins and outs of it too. And try some new stuff.
Awesome. So I'm gonna tell y'all right now, life is funny. Future you, whoever you are, future selves, because I'm pretty sure it's gonna be more than y'all. Remember what this man said. Future you, that's gonna walk up to this guy. That's whether it doesn't matter whether you're Haitian, whether you're Guyanese like me, Jamaican, Trinidadian, West Indian as a whole. Remember what this guy said. You got some great advice from a guy who's gonna do great things.
Thank you.
Best believe that he's coming straight out of the four, WWA4, for those of you outside of Georgia, and just watch him. We're gonna speak it into existence. Zamir Zuriel is gonna be the name you gotta remember, and you're gonna see real soon. Remember that.
Thank you. And yes, you will. Absolutely. You got this, whoever you are.
So I gotta say, man, Zamir, thank you very much, for taking time out of your busy schedule. We really and truly appreciate it. I'm sorry my two co-hosts, Rob Bass and Kath Knight, couldn't be here tonight, but they're here in spirit. They're probably watching somewhere supporting. But thank you for taking time out of your busy schedules to be a guest on our show. We really and truly appreciate it. Before we shut this show down, where can fans find you on social media when they want to find out where your next appearances, purchase Zamir Zuriel merchandise, and where can bookers and promoters find you when they want to book you for their shows?
Instagram and Twitter are my main accounts. Instagram is ZZWWA4, and Twitter is just Zamir Zuriel.
Awesome. So y'all heard the man just gave us, his social media links. Go ahead, give this man a follow. Cop that Zamir Zuriel merch when it drops. That way, when some jabroni comes up and is like, I got the new shirt from WB Shop, or I got the new shirt from Shop AEW or Shop TNA, you can be like, man, I've been following this man since he started, since he appeared on Ringside Society, and I copped the shirt like Remy Blue said. I'm a real fan. Boom, sit down. It's always great to support, that person when they're on the beginning of their journey. It's just a great feeling. So go out there, follow this man, cop that merch, support indie wrestling. If you don't support indie wrestling, y'all seen how my co-host Rob Bass is skinny. Rob Bass gonna go to your house, raid your fridge, and he gonna leave a skip because he done ate all your food. So support indie wrestling if you don't want Rob Bass at your house. Trust me, it's not a nice feeling. But
I agree with this man. I agree with this man right here.
But on the real, support indie wrestling, man. I mean, you heard Zamir talk about physical health and mental health. That's what these men and women put on the line day in and day out just to entertain us, the fans. So why not just go out there and show your support, all that great stuff. Trust me, you won't regret it. It'll make you feel great inside and all that. So support indie wrestling. That's all I got to say. That's what I'm gonna keep saying. It is what it is. But with that being said, it's about time for us to shut this show down. My eyelids are getting heavy. My stomach is rumbling. That means it's time for dinner and a nap. Maybe not in that order, but before I partake in those activities, if you want to find me on social media, not that I say a lot of cool stuff, but I do go to a couple of cool places every now and then. You can actually see my trip to London I just took. You can definitely find me on Twitter and Instagram at the Remy Blue. You can find me on Facebook under the alias Remy Blue, and you can also find our podcast on social media. We're on Twitter and Instagram at Ringside Society, Twitch at Ringside Society 2019. We're on Facebook as a Facebook group. We're also on Spotify, and we're also on Teespring, where we sell official Ringside Society merchandise. And last but not least, we have a YouTube channel where you can see cool interviews like this one, like the one we had with Nikki Heat, several members of Top Team, and many other great men and women in the world of professional wrestling. all you got to do, it's really simple. Go on YouTube, type in Ringside Society, and when you see that really good looking dark blue and light blue yin yang sound, the blue flames around it, that's when you know it's us. So make sure you subscribe to all the videos because we got a lot of cool stuff coming up, and you don't want to miss a thing like Aerosmith in 1998. And as a matter of fact, I'm feeling so good tonight. You know, fresh off a trip from London, I'm gonna give y'all a little spoiler alert. Tomorrow we will be talking about the Royal Rumble. That's right. We're gonna be giving our predictions. Special guest Vicky Beer will be joining us, and she'll be joining us to talk about the Royal Rumble, giving our predictions, what's gonna happen, what won't happen, who will turn heel, who will turn face, what alliances will form, what alliances will break up, all that good stuff. We will speak about that tomorrow. So definitely, stay tuned for that. But with that being said, we just want to thank everybody tuning in live tonight. Thank you very much. We're one of the best wrestling podcasts a wrestling fan could, should, and would listen to, and we're not going to stop being that. To those of y'all that are listening later on, we get a chance. Thank you very much in advance. And those of y'all that hate us, can't stand us, really and truly wish we would just go away, well, like myself at the Golden Corral or one of those really cool restaurants in Atlanta, we're not going anywhere for a while. So with that being said, we just want everybody to know that we're very well and aware. Myself, Rob Bass, Kathy Knight, Albert Armageddon, and Christine 200, we're very well aware that everybody and their grandparents and the parents of a podcast. Well, we're not your grandparents' podcast. We're not your parents' podcast. As a matter of fact, we're not just any podcast. Hashtag, we are not the same. So with that being said, I'm going to say it right now. One time for the mind, one time for the people, one time for the wrestling culture, one time for the four, and one time for the most advantageous wrestler in professional wrestling, Zamir Zuriel.
Thank you.
With the Wrestling Fans Podcast, Ringside Society, we'll be back tomorrow with another impressive episode. But until then, we just have 4 favors for y'all. Stay safe, stay healthy, be excellent to each other, and enjoy wrestling. We out. Peace.
It's Banuit.